You are back. Hello, Sankofa families. I'm here to welcome you for another session. We're going to be doing environmental science with Miss Natisha, and we're going to do some cyber streets technology with Mr. Williams. I know you're going to enjoy it and learn something, so sit tight, and we got some great stuff coming up for you.
Yay!
Excellent, excellent, excellent. What you got there, son?
Two front circuit, Dad. I don't really understand it. You mind if...
Yeah, well, the fact that you say you don't understand it, I kind of get. I'm always asking you guys to build these things in the center, thinking that you will understand by reading some of what's in the book and looking at the circuits and get an idea of what these different circuits do. But it's okay that you don't understand. If you have a few minutes, I'll explain something to you. Okay, so very first thing we want to do is disconnect the power. So we're going to turn the switch off and we're going to remove the batteries. 1, 2, 3. We'll place them there so we know that they're not in. And if it's okay, can I disconnect it as I'm explaining each part? You okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, I won't. I don't want to destroy your lovely work. So, hopefully everybody can see this. This is called the light tunnel. What the light tunnel does is it takes electricity and it converts it into light. With this particular light tunnel, depending on which terminals you're connected to, it'll decide what type of lights you're going to get. Currently, because it's connected to the positive and the negative, it's going to show all three colors, red, green, and blue, and it's going to flash through each of those colors. If we had one of these terminals connected to the red, then it would just show us the red color. If we had the terminal connected just to the green color, then it would just show us the green. And if it was connected to just the blue terminal down here, then it would show us just the blue color. But because it's connected to the positive and the negative, we can get all three colors. Okay, that is the light tunnel. Back here is what's called a diode, and this one has a multicolored LED, light emitting diode. So basically when we apply power to it, it also flashes through the different colors. These blue plastics, as they are in this particular case, do the same thing as wires. These just represent regular wires, and they're used to actually just connect different circuits together. Okay? And in this particular kit, they come in different lengths. This one is a 3-point. There are 2 points, there are 5 points, 4 points, and 6 points. You connect in accordance to the length that you need. Okay? This, I don't know, okay. Sorry. This here, I don't know how well, I'll pick it up so you can see, I'll put it right back, I'm sorry. Is what's called a switch. Basically, by flipping this switch, we actually allow the current to flow through so that our light circuit actually lights up. I'm going to put that back where it was. And that is basically, this is a rather simple circuit. These plastic that you see would be the circuit boards inside of for example, if you opened up any electronic circuit, a doll, for example, a radio, a clock, your television, your phones, you would see a circuit board. It would be the green board inside. That's what these are. And just like those, you actually put different electrical circuits on that board. Let's make sure that I haven't destroyed your project. Let's put the batteries back in. Okay, there's one. There's another. And finally, and not the least, all right. Thank you for allowing me to spend time with you.
Yes, sir.
Sankofa, friends, family, and community. This is Miss Natisha here. I'm back again with environmental science. Hopefully, you guys are staying home, you're happy, you're healthy, you're enjoying your time as best as you can, and we hope to see you again real soon. So, hopefully, you got a chance to check out our first video, which we did composting. We made our own indoor composters with things such as a bottle here. You would basically just cut off the top, you'll put soil in, your compostable items, and another layer of soil on top, and you're going to treat it like a plant. I also created one in a pot. So this is how I made my composter. I already had an extra pot hanging around. I put you can't even tell that it's a composter. I put my soil at the bottom. Then I put my compostable items, which you can also find in the last video, like your fruits, your dryer lint, any type of paper towel waste that's pretty clean. And then you'll put soil over top again. And we're going to treat it like a plant. Like I said, you're going to make sure it gets your sunlight, water, everything a plant needs. So today we are going to actually talk about watering plants through a little math problem here that I will pull up for you. I'm also going to leave this document in the comments so you guys can print it out or open it up so you'll be able to view it and read it if the writing or font's too small. Let me zoom in just a little bit. So if you were with us last year, you might recognize this problem. Just want to make sure it's adjusted so everybody can see it well. All right, I'm going to read the problem. As a rule, the soil for most plants should be somewhat moist, about 3 to 4 inches deep, 7.6 to 10 centimeters. This is important. As a rule of thumb, you want to make sure that the moisture reaches the roots because that's where the plant starts out, from the seed to the root. So you want to make sure that water's reaching that part, because if not, your plant might not be getting enough water. And this is important for your fruits and vegetables or your herbs that you really want to use and you want to see prosper. So the directions, we're going to use a wooden ruler and some other things that I have here. So there's a wooden ruler, and the reason why we're going to need a wooden ruler is because when we stick our ruler into the plant, we want to be able to see some residue from the soil on this wooden ruler. You can also use a white ruler or anything where you think soil is going to stick to the material of the ruler. So I have gloves here, and these are gardening gloves, but you can get some like these from the dollar store. You can also use cleaning gloves. And then I will show you the type of plants I have today. Now I showed you my indoor composter here. We're going to see how damp this soil is because you want to treat it like a plant as well. That way, when the materials start to break down, you're going to stir it and make sure it's watered, and it needs water for the materials to be able to break down. And you're going to use it like soil for your indoor plants or even your outdoor plants. I have a air purifier plant here. Let's see. Her name is Juanita. She requires low light, temperature range about 65 to 80, so that should normally be your indoor temperature. And then I'm just going to read some benefits of air purifier plants, as I addressed them in the last video as well. So indoor plants produce oxygen, which is your O2, and they absorb carbon dioxide, your CO2. Plants absorb about 87% of indoor air pollutants. So if you have a window open and there's different air pollutants coming in, or just air pollutants from just staying in a stuffed house, that will absorb it. And if someone in your house is sick, it can also contribute to good air quality in the house. And last but not least, pretty important facts on the air purifier card. NASA scientists recommend using one houseplant for every 100 square feet to purify indoor air. So if NASA says it, you know it's got to be true. Sure, that was an experiment. And I also have another indoor plant. Her name is Spathiphyllum. I'll put it a little closer to the screen, just in case I'm not saying it right. I didn't completely butcher it. Okay. So as you may have noticed, the two indoor plants I have, they have water globes in them. So this is just another tool you can use to make sure your plant is getting enough water. You can also use soil meters as well, and that will help determine when it's time for you to water your plant. So with this indoor experiment, I have my ruler here. We'll start with our compostable plant. I'm going to stick the ruler in. You want to make sure your 1 inch is down at the bottom so you can tell how many inches damp the soil is. So if it's below 3 to 4, we need to water this. Stick it in about the middle. Make sure it gets all the way down in there. I know sometimes things might be in the way. All right, so we have about 1 inch. So that's definitely below 3 to 4 inches. So we're definitely gonna need to water that. So going back to our chart here, what I would do is give the plant a name. I would say indoor composter. Type of plant it is. We'll just say unknown for now. Is the soil damp? How many? We'll say no, not damp enough. It's not 3 to 4 inches damp. And then if not, how many inches of the soil need to be damp enough? It would need 3 inches. All right. And then how many more inches of water is needed for the soil to be damp? 3 inches. Moving on to our next plant, Juanita. Again, make sure that your ruler is facing down with the 1 inch. I'll put it in about the middle again. Maybe 1 inch, about 1 inch there. So this also definitely needs water. So again, if we're filling out our chart, I'll put plant name, indoor purifier, Juanita. And then I would put that, is the soil damp 3 to 4 inches deep? No. If not, how many inches deep is the soil? 1 inch. And how many more inches of water does the plant need to become damp? About 3 to 4. And I will measure our last plant. Gordon. So here is this plant. It is 1 inch deep, damp. I'm going to put it in the chart again. So I'll put that, we'll just nickname it Spath because that's a very long name that I'm butchering. Spath type of plant is an indoor air purifier. It is 1 inch deep and it is not 3 to 4 inches damp like it should be. How much more water is needed for the plant to become damper? About 3 to 4 inches again. So they have a rule of thumb for potted plants. If your plant is 10 to 12 inches, you should give it about 2/4 gallon of water. So this pot here is about 10 inches. So we'll still give it around 2 to 4 gallons of water. Do have my water here. So I'm going to go ahead and water these plants. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little project here. And if you don't do it now, like I said, you can do it at a later time. I'm going to put this in the comment section so you guys will be able to view it. And it'll have the resources and everything else that I used to make this video. Hope you guys continue to stay safe and healthy. See you guys soon.
Hi, it's Miss Brown. Thank you for joining us today. Make sure you come back and see us next time. And remember to stay clean and wash your hands.